are no age restrictions. There are no child labor laws. There are no, where is your qualification? There's no, bring me your CV. There's no, if you give me 2,500, then I'll make sure you get into this vacancy which pays 7,500. There is no, oh, you're overqualified. In fact, here it's an advantage. It's a good thing that you are so highly qualified because you stand the fuck out compared to your competitors. There is no, come in at this time, leave at this time, wake up at this time so that you're on the road at this time, so that you arrive here at this time, and then you clock out at this time, you're on the road from this time to this time, and then you get home at this time. Hello guys, welcome biggity big to another video. So in this video I'm gonna be discussing freelancing and the creator economy in general. So I don't know, there isn't just one topic for this, but the overall point, you'll get it by the end of this essay. So without further ado, here we go. Even though we live in a world where access to the internet is increasing daily, a lot of people are not digitally literate. South Africa, for example, is still a developing country where it is common in low-income neighborhoods for people to not have a smartphone. And even when they do, it's not efficient enough to navigate the internet well. Like, it has problems like low memory, slow loading times, random network problems, etc., etc. There's just a host of issues when you have a shit phone. But even in those cases where people do have access to a variety of decent gadgets like laptops, computers, high-end phones, they rarely try to actively become better at using them. Most people use their laptops to do academic work or stream movies, listen to music, watch YouTube, etc. It's generally for entertainment, academics, and information storage. Most people are consumers, not producers. And that's how you get people who have owned laptops their whole lives but still don't know how to use Excel or MS Word. Most teens who have these devices are not actively experimenting with things like coding or web or app development, graphic design, animation, etc. You know, skills that you need in the 21st century and that you probably will need going forward into the future. Yeah, those teens are not doing those things themselves. They are just watching other teens on social media who are doing those things and documenting it. And those who do these experiments, that small minority of people just keeps getting further ahead in terms of skill, thereby increasing the amount of opportunities available to them. Now, I myself am not speaking from a high horse when I say this, because I myself wasn't intentional about learning how to use these devices either. The only reason I learned these things is because running this internet cafe forced me to. People came to me with requests. I had to learn on the spot and give the customer what they wanted. Sometimes I had to turn the customer away, and the pain of losing out on that sale made me want to make sure it never happened again. Like, can you imagine you're a brokey, someone comes to you and you suddenly have an opportunity to make like $500 in one day, but you miss out on it simply because you don't have the information that is worth that $500. That shit hurts. If it doesn't, it should, bro. Shit. So it is unfortunate that most of us are consumer minded, because if more of us were producers or in a producer mindset, we would see more opportunities to improve our economy. But for those who already have this mindset, the fact that most people are not digitally literate is a huge opportunity. There are a lot of income streams you could open if you had even just 20 hours of practice with any AI tool. You could do most of these at a library with free Wi-Fi and a computer. So for example, number one, you could do graphic design for local businesses in your area or businesses on the internet using Canva and Figma, and then reaching out to potential customers by posting content, approaching them in person with samples, or contacting them via social media, or announcing your services to the people you already know who might need them. Those are what your warm leads, right? You could, another business you or hustle you could try is number two, you help students and businesses get more work done more quickly by using AI tools. You see, for example, chatbots like ChatGPT, you could use them to draft company documents like business profiles and constitutions. Um, just things that take a while to compile. You could just tell AI, yo, this is my business model, so draft me a sample business plan or constitution based on what we do, and then all you have to do is edit. You get like the more information you put into the prompt, the less editing you have to do to the response. You could use AI transcription software to help people who run companies or organizations to turn their audio recorded minutes into text minutes so that they can share them across the organization as like emails or newsletters or PDF files, stuff like that. Number three business you could try is offering cloud-based administration services to businesses so that they never lose any important documents. So instead of them having all of their important stuff on a localized computer, you put it somewhere on like a Google Drive or an iCloud, stuff like that. You create a custom email for them so that they have somewhere to put all of this shit that they can't afford to lose, or is just making their computer slower because there's just too much shit on the computer, stuff like that. Just cloud-based admin, making sure that all of their documents are in order. Those are just three examples of businesses you could start and operate from like a public library that has a computer and Wi-Fi. Maybe I should do an in-depth script that is only like a bunch of examples of these free Wi-Fi at a library type of hustles. So anyway, you may be wondering, but why would anyone pay me to do something that they could do for themselves? And here are a few reasons. Number one, they don't fucking know it exists. They don't fucking know those tools exist. Number two, they know you'll probably do it better. Number three, they can't be bothered to learn. Number four, it simply has not occurred to them that they can learn. Number five, the money they have to pay for you doing it, is a lesser sacrifice than them learning how to do it on their own. And number six, they are not able to learn. Have you considered that as well? Like, they might not have access to internet or computers like you do. They might not even know computer basics that allow them to even open a browser page in the first place. There may be too much mental friction, like computers just aren't this person's thing. You know how when you have like a knack for something, you naturally do it easily. But those things that you face a lot of resistance when trying, like say for example, you're someone who is good at poetry, and then you try trading, and then it just feels like too much of an uphill battle. You don't have a knack for trading, for example. Or maybe they just don't have the time to learn because they are too busy in their business and with their personal life. So they'd much rather be like, you know what, here's 500 rand, do it for me. Don't make me think about it. Just give me quality work. Those are a few reasons why people might pay you to do something that they could probably learn how to do for themselves, or probably could do for themselves and already know how to, There's a lot of reasons why people buy. That's the nature of the marketplace, and that's a beautiful thing. You need to capitalize on that fact. The fact that whatever product you have, there's someone willing to buy it. The fact that it exists means it is necessary in some capacity. You just have to find the people who deem it necessary enough for what you're willing to charge for it. So anyway, if you are willing and able to learn these tools or these ways to make people's lives easier, then you create the opportunity for yourself to earn an income by providing to all of the people who are not willing and or able. You provide them with a service. Mail. Fine. You provide them with a service. Sharp. You provide them with a service or a product that they need. And think about how many people that could be out of 8.23 billion, or at least that's what it is at the time that's the world population according to the first result on Google at the time of me recording this video. See, the trick with these business models, it isn't creating the product or the service. Like with the old business models where you had to have a lot of capital and machinery and like the stock upfront, stuff like that. You see, the trick here is creating or finding a demand for what you have. Once it's set up, once you set up your business, all you have to do is get the word out as much as possible. Just get it into as many eyes and ears and noses and mouths and all other orifices as much as possible. It's free to set these businesses up in terms of money, but it will cost you time. And another beautiful thing about these types of businesses is that they are more scalable and more flexible than a business that requires you to have premises, that requires you to have customers who come to you in person for your services or your products. But with these business models, there are no age restrictions, there are no child labor laws, there are no where is your qualification, there's no bring me your CV, there's no okay, if you give me 2,500 for this position, then if you give me 2,500, then I'll make sure you get into this vacancy which pays 7,500. There is no, oh, you're overqualified. In fact, here it's an advantage. It's a good thing that you are so highly qualified because you stand the fuck out compared to your competitors. There is no come in at this time, leave at this time, wake up at this time so that you're on the road at this time, so that you arrive here at this time, and then you clock out at this time, you're on the road from this time to this time, and then you get home at this time, which is there's no going the entire day without even seeing an ounce of sunlight. There is no overtime or undertime. You control your work rate. You control your work hours. It all depends on your work rate. That's the beauty of it. It's like you won't close every deal, but you are in control of your luck. Yeah, basically. You are in control of how big your luck surface area is. As opposed to a job where they give you a certain amount of tasks, and if you finish them all quickly and you do them all excellently, then you have nothing to do, or they see that you're so efficient that they give you even more tasks, and then you end up inundated, but there's no corresponding reward to the level of effort that you are now being required to put in. But now when you are working on your own thing, then the level of effort always corresponds to the level of reward. It may not always be reward in terms of money, but it cannot be reward in terms of gaining reputation, showing off your credibility, gaining more expertise, learning new insights about where you're making mistakes and how you can make your business grow. That's the beauty of these technically free business models. They cost time, but it's free in terms of money. If it can be free in terms of money anyway. You can do this whether you are 12 or 82. That's the beauty of it. Like, there's no you're too young to start. There's no you're too old to still be working. You retire when you want. You make as much as you want. It all depends on your work rate. So yeah. Anyway, I'm beating a dead horse. But the point I'm making is that with these kinds of side hustles, it's just you and your offer and your willingness to shamelessly promote it. That determines how lucky you are. I mean, I myself, a lot of my recent revenue isn't coming from new customers a lot of the time, especially like big chunks of revenue where I'm making like a lot in a day. It's usually from customers who I established like 2 or 3 years ago when I was going ham on the promotion cycle. But for the last few months, I've been chilling at the shop and they just come. Well, they call me and I have to go to them. But like, I've already established a relationship with customers and they now trust my work and they don't want anyone else to do the work. That's another beautiful thing. Like, they trust my expertise and my judgment so much that they are willing to pay slightly higher prices than my competitors simply because they have a guarantee that I will deliver exactly what they want. So yeah, that's it for this video. If you got any insights, if you got something useful out of this, stick around for more insightful takes like this by hitting that subscribe button. Maybe you can share this with your friends. The more you interact with these videos, the more the algorithm favors them and the more other people can get this information. So we're all trying to hustle out here, we're all trying to get in our bag, we're all trying to get a start. And if you think other people deserve information that could help them realize they are not as powerless as they think just because they are broke, then help us get this message out there. But anyway, yeah, that's it. Peace out.